So there's definitely some pooling of resources coming through here. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles, I'm going to relay the first message that I'm feeling here. I feel that a lot of you are trying to work together as a unit and pulling your resources together. So this could be a significant other, like a love relationship, or even pulling your finances with another person in order to, get a project off the ground, get a business started, or getting something started. I do feel that at this point, a lot of you might be feeling as if you're short on finances. You feel like you might not have enough to either purchase a property, I'm feeling like, or start that business, or even, purchase, or even like start up something. You have planned something and you're trying to implement it, and you're trying to like pool your resources to get it off the ground. You're reaching the point where you feel as if you might not have enough money in order to do that. So a lot of you might be looking at a lending institution in order for you to procure more finances to get the project off the ground. You might be seeing a financial consultant. You might also be talking to a lawyer or like a mortgage officer, a loan officer, in order to get, some paperwork started. You're seeking somebody for help in order to get this financial situation, churning along in the way that you'd like. The other side of this is the Five of Pentacles indicate some type of I guess like financial crisis. The other cards don't indicate to me a financial crisis. I just feel that you and another person might be pooling your resources to start something new. It's not that you're struggling, but it can also indicate like, falling short in finances, and finances not panning out the way that we'd hope, okay? But you're being helped here by either a consultant or somebody is coming in order to help you. What I'm also feeling is, I do feel for a lot of you, you are dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. I do feel that this is a very karmic relationship, and I feel it is a negative karmic relationship. It has been very problematic. I feel that both of you have adequately learned your lessons from one another. And I do feel that it is time for you both to basically, move on ahead. I feel this might be the person that you're telling off. And I do feel that this is a situation where you're getting a lot of signs and signals that they might not have been faithful. And you stuck with it because I actually don't know. There are a myriad of reasons why you stuck with it, but it might be financial considerations that is keeping you very stuck in this relationship, okay? So I do feel some period of reassessment in a major relationship if you're dealing with an air sign. So they themselves could be re-examine this relationship. I feel if you are dealing with an air sign, they might have the wandering eyes. They might be a social butterfly. They might be looking outside of the relationship. So I feel like there is some major reassessment in a significant karmic relationship coming through, okay? I feel as well they might be draining your resources. I feel like they might be draining your resources, like your financial resources in some way. If it's not a romantic partner, I feel there is some type of a financial drain coming through as a result. Okay, what I'm feeling is this as well, and I'm going to talk about this because this is something that just came through. I feel like if you are a Taurian person that is in a marriage situation or in a long established relationship, and you're stepping out on your significant other with an air sign, okay? And you have like a Mr. or a Mrs. on the side. The Mr. or the Mrs. is proving to be a little bit more demanding, and they are creating a huge major drain on your financial situation. So you might secretly have two homes, like one for your significant other and one for the other person on the side. And I feel that it is creating like, it's kind of like, life's irony. They are draining your resources. So you might want to reassess. Okay. So that's the message I was getting for people that are like somehow financing a mister or a mistress on the side, outside of your stable, significant relationship. All right. So that can be, it's not going to apply for all, but I feel like it's serves as a warning to you. Okay. Actions and consequences. So be very careful. And I feel like it's best for you to cut this person loose. All right. So what's coming through next is we have the Prince of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So in terms of your emotional soul development, and I saw these and I got the message that, you know, about the Mr. or the Mrs. Because the High Priestess is usually like concealment. And the Prince of Pentacles is usually like, this is an earth sign. You are offering something to another person, and somehow you are concealing some type of information, or they themselves are concealing some type of information from you. I feel like if you are pooling your resources with another person, you need to be very, very clear about the terms of the contract, the terms of the agreement. If you have, or if you are signing contracts, you want to make sure they uphold their end of the bargain, and make sure you read the fine print, because I feel like you're putting everything, you know, that you have out there, but the other person, and it doesn't matter their sign, I feel like you're putting everything on the line, and the other person might be hiding something from you in terms of how much financial resources they can front to get some type of project up and running. Okay. This is a good month for you to sign and finalize some projects, but I do want you to reassess to make sure that the other person is honest and truthful about all the information that they're giving you. I feel some type of concealment, and I do feel that it is important for you, if you're purchasing a big ticket item, to read the fine print, cover yourself with, you know, I guess like cover your bases by being very thorough. Scan thoroughly, like thoroughly scan the legal documents. Okay. So that's what I'm sensing here. And I do feel that there is some type of it's almost like you're offering something up and the other person wants more. It's like they want more. And I do feel this might pertain to some type of a blackmail situation, whether it's like with a Mr. or Mrs. or with a work associate. So some type of demands. People are making demands on you, and I feel like you're offering it up. You're giving in to their demands, but I don't feel like it's fair for you to do that. Okay. So just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. So I feel like finances are not a problem. It's just where the finances are being diverted. That might be the problem for you. So just, you know, protect yourself accordingly. Okay. Make sure you're dealing with righteous people. So we have here the King of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So first off, the Ace of Pentacles indicates a new revenue stream. This is also a new job. For those of you who have been looking for work in the past, I would say for some reason I was getting like 6 months. You have a new job coming through, and it is going to be a really, really good job, possibly a supervisory position or some very lucrative work assignment that might require a little bit of travel. I do feel that you are in a position where the supervisor or the manager that you are working under, they have a lot of creative ideas. They really trust you. And I feel that it is really in your best interest to try to impress this person, okay? I feel that they are testing you out to see what kind of energy you can bring to the table or to the work environment. So it is really important for you not to be modest. Hype up your skills, hype up your assets, because I feel like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's a new job. It's a new revenue stream. It's a new location possibly for a lot of you. So if you've been, you know, wanting that job or looking for work, and you've been worried about your finances, I definitely feel this is a turnaround month for a lot of you. On the other hand, what I'm sensing is if you are looking for some type of loan, financial assistance, financier, some type of, financial backing as well, I do feel that you are going to have to impress some people. I see you in a room. You want to win a contract, or you want to win some type of an investment opportunity, or you're trying to win over some investors and financier. You might have something on the table like an invention. You might have something that you've worked very diligently on, and it was like your love child. And I feel like a lot of you might have made a lot of sacrifices in order to improve this one invention or this one product. And you're in a room and you're meeting with a lot of like high power, inventors or backers, financial backers, and you are in a position where you have to please them. So I feel that it is really important for you to hype up your assets and don't be modest, okay? Go all out, be bold, and you are going to win that lucrative assignment that you've been eyeing. Now, in terms of spiritual development, we do have the Death card and the Prince of Cups. Whatever the financial situation is, I do feel it is turning around for the better. So we do have an offer coming through, and I do feel this can be in love, or this can be on a material, in a soul level. If whatever you've been worried about, I do feel there is some type of an offer coming through for you. I also feel that this is a life-changing event as well. And it's interesting, I got the same message for Capricorns. I feel some major breakthroughs that they were waiting on, some major contract, some major, a very important decision that they're waiting on. And it's going to cause some major transformations in their own life. So I feel like it might be an earth sign thing. I wasn't getting it so much for Virgo, but I feel like for Capricorns and also for you guys, this is coming in and it's going to be a game changer, okay? Something in your life is being changed for good. Additionally, if you have been dealing with a water sign, so this is like love offer coming through. If you've been dealing with a water sign, and specifically Scorpio comes up very strongly, I do feel that there is some transformation in that relationship. So Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming in quite strongly with the Death card. I definitely see some transformation where you both might part ways, or you both might, change the way you relate to one another. I feel like one party growing up and taking care of responsibilities, or handling themselves a little bit better, because you had to tell them. And I do feel that somebody is, growing up and taking responsibilities and vowing to do something differently. Okay, if you're dealing with a water sign. So I do feel some major transformation in a significant relationship coming through as a result. And it can be totally like abandoning projects, cutting your losses, or it could be transformation and working together as a unit and becoming better people as a result. I feel that the maturation process is coming through mutually, but I feel like more so from the other person's end, okay? So very good cards overall, Taurus. So let me see your advice for this month. Okay, so one of the main things is I am taken back to that whole mistress situation, okay? This is a card about an empty victory. So this is like a swift victory or an empty victory, depending on if it's upright or reversed. So first of all, we do have a situation here that is telling me that you want to be very, very patient, okay? And it's basically a situation where I feel like it might be a significant love relationship. And if you have been dealing with a lot of like disappointment, if you are going around, like, for example, if you're an inventor or a writer, you're going around showing people your manuscript, showing people your invention, you're hoping to get some type of financial backing, you're trying to get like some business proposal off the ground. And it's telling me basically to be very, very patient, because there is going to be a major breakthrough. So don't give up. Keep at it, have faith in it, and it will pan out the way that you'd hope. I do feel that you're dealing with people that might tell you to make some last minute changes, or to, tweak an invention, a book, a manuscript, something like that, so that it can be in alignment with what basically sells. I do feel that you might not want to do this, but it is in your best interest to make those necessary changes, because they do have very, very good advice that they're giving you. Okay, so if that pertains to you, just go with the flow and, do whatever is asked of you, because I do sense that they know what they're talking about. Okay. You might not be too thrilled about doing that. What I'm also feeling as well is, it seems to me almost as if, for those of you who are single and looking, you're kind of anxious to start new things and like new relationships. And I am just going to, say this, and obviously it's not going to apply for all of you, but I feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of like looking in the wrong areas when it comes to love. Okay, you value the wrong things, and you choose partners that are not stable. Like I feel, yeah, I just can't stress that enough. I feel like you're choosing, you're emphasizing the wrong things, or your emphasis, your requirements for a partner. It needs to be fine tuned. It needs to be refined so that you're not attracting the wrong people, or you're not letting the wrong people into your life. Okay. So I do feel some type of a rumination happening for you, where you are drawing inward and you're trying to decide, like, what did I do wrong? Why am I attracting the wrong kinds of people? So I feel some sadness, some grief associated with the dating front, like disappointment on the dating front. So my advice is this: write down a list of the qualities that you need in a partner in order to make you happy. Okay. I do feel that there might have been some situation where you were valuing somebody for the fun that they can bring into your life. And, when you're using that kind of criteria, of course, you can't rely on another person to bring fun and excitement into your life. You're supposed to have fun and excitement on your own. You're supposed to be whole on your own in order to attract the right relationship partner. So I feel like in the past, it might have been like you might have attracted somebody that had a very big ego, that made the relationship all about them. They might have been very seductive. They might have been very attractive, very seductive. And they had you like wrapped around their fingers. That's what I'm feeling. And it was fun while it lasted, but you realize that you ended up very emotionally depleted. Okay. And just unfulfilled. I do feel for a lot of you, you were dealing with a lot of, I'm going to say this, like just selfish people, like a relationship partner that was very, very selfish. You gave them everything, but I feel that they held back. And I feel like it might be on the financial front. They either held back their assets, they swirled away money. They might have held back on their assets, or they might have held back on their affection. And you felt depleted, okay? For those of you with, the Mr. or the Mrs., or those of you that have willingly put yourself in a position where you were the Mr. or the Mrs., I feel this is the month in which you're starting to realize that you are not emotionally fulfilled, and you are checking yourself physically, emotionally, you're cutting off ties, and you're no longer playing third party, which is great. And I hope that, you come to that realization as well sooner rather than later in the future. Third party relationships are never going to work out. Somebody always ends up feeling emotionally depleted, and it is usually the third wheel, like the Mr. or the mistress. All right. So just keep that in mind. So my advice here is cut your losses, move on, because you are ending up in a situation where you are very emotionally depleted. One last thing before we end this, I feel that for a lot of you, I feel like you are encountering a situation where you have to rehearse what you need to say. You're dealing with very, very, the energy around you. I feel that you're under a lot of scrutiny. I feel like you're under a lot of pressure. The people are very intellectual and very like unemotional. So you're not going to get by with an emotional speech or an emotional appeal. You are going to get by if you know what you're talking about, if you have like thorough knowledge of a certain topic, okay?